We live in a world obsessed with masks. Not the kind you wear for protection, but the kind you wear to be accepted. Every day, we put on a version of ourselves we think the world wants to see. We edit our personalities, mute our opinions, and shrink our identities. Why? Because deep down, we're scared. Scared of rejection. Scared of being misunderstood. Scared of being ourselves. But here's the truth no one wants to tell you: you will never, ever, be truly happy until you learn to be yourself. Not a version of you curated for social media. Not the you that just fits in. The real you. Let's start with something uncomfortable. How many times have you said yes when you really meant no? How many times have you laughed at a joke that made you feel sick inside? How many times have you agreed just to avoid confrontation, just to keep the peace? Each time you do that, you're betraying yourself. Not in some poetic, dramatic way, literally. You're silencing your own voice. You're sending a message to your brain: my truth isn't good enough. My opinion doesn't matter. Who I really am isn't welcome here. And that's the root of so much of our unhappiness. Not depression from the past. Not anxiety about the future. But the pain of constantly abandoning yourself in the present. Why is it so hard to be authentic? Because we were raised to be liked. Not understood. Not seen. Just liked. As kids, we were praised when we behaved. Punished when we questioned. Told to fit in when we stood out. And over time, we learned to wear the masks. The people pleaser. The class clown. The overachiever. The quiet one. The tough one. And slowly, the real you, the one that was born unfiltered, passionate, curious, raw, got buried under layers of conditioning. But here's the thing: your mask may help you survive, but it will never help you thrive. When you live for other people, you become a stranger in your own life. You wake up exhausted, not because you're tired, but because being fake is draining. You go to work or school and feel invisible, even though people know your name, because nobody really knows you. You build relationships that feel hollow. Because they weren't built on truth. They were built on performance. And the scariest part? Even if people do love you, you'll never feel it, because deep down you'll always think, they don't love me. They love the act. But what if you stopped performing? What if you gave yourself permission to be real? Even if it's messy. Even if it's different. What if, for the first time in your life, you said, I'd rather be disliked for who I am than loved for who I'm not? That's the moment everything begins to change. It doesn't mean life gets easier. It means it gets honest. It means the people who stay really see you. The joy you feel is yours, not borrowed. And the life you build finally feels like home. So how do you become yourself again? It starts with unlearning. Here's how: start by getting honest. Ask yourself, where in my life am I not being real? Be brave enough to answer. Create space to hear your own thoughts. Journal. Meditate. Take walks alone. Reconnect. Learn to say no. Not every opportunity, request, or relationship is for you. Protect your energy. Accept that not everyone will like you. And that's okay. You're not here to impress. You're here to live truthfully. Reconnect with your passions. What did you love before the world told you to be practical? Go do that. Surround yourself with people who embrace the real you, even if it means having fewer people around. Quality over quantity. You are not broken. You are not too much. You're just hidden beneath years of pretending. Being yourself is not a destination. It's a homecoming. And when you return to yourself, when you finally allow yourself to just be, something miraculous happens: you stop chasing happiness. Because happiness starts chasing you. You've spent so long being what others wanted. Now, It's time to become who you were meant to be. And remember, the moment you choose to be yourself fully, you may lose some people, but you'll gain your life. And that is a trade worth making. Here's something most people don't talk about: denying yourself doesn't just cause sadness, it leads to resentment. You start resenting your job, your partner, your family, your friends. But here's the twist: you're not really angry at them. You're angry at you, for abandoning yourself to keep everyone else comfortable. For sacrificing your peace for their approval. And that resentment quietly turns into burnout, bitterness, numbness. You don't explode. You just fade. Being someone you're not is a slow suicide, not of the body, but of the soul. And every day you keep pretending, another piece of you disappears. If you're hearing this and thinking, "That's me," I want you to know. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not weak. You're human. And millions of us are waking up to this exact same truth. That the life we built wasn't for us. It was for someone else's expectations. And we're done. Done with fake friendships. Done with chasing approval. Done with the masks. And here's the most powerful part: when you step into who you really are, you give other people permission to do the same. We are so conditioned to want to fit in, we forget how boring fitting in actually is. The world doesn't need more copies. It needs contrast. Your weirdness, your quirks, your strange humor, your wild opinions, your contradictions. Those are your magic. Being different isn't a problem to fix. It's a gift to share. The people who change the world aren't the ones who blend in. They're the ones who stand out by standing in their truth. So to the real you. The one under the roles and the rules. The one you've been hiding, fearing, doubting, ignoring. I want to say something: I see you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to. In a world full of noise, fakes, filters, and scripts, being real is magnetic. People crave truth. They crave the raw, the unfiltered, the honest, the unpolished. You don't need to stand out by shouting louder. You stand out by being true. And here's the best part: when you live authentically, you stop competing. There's no one to compare yourself to, because no one else is you. That's your power. Let's not sugarcoat it. Being yourself can be painful. Some people will leave. Some people will judge you. Some people will try to convince you to go back to the old version of you, because that version made them more comfortable. And for a while, it might feel lonely. But here's what you gain in return: peace, self-respect, energy, meaningful relationships, and a sense of alignment you can't put a price on. You stop second-guessing your every word. You stop hiding. And for once in your life, your outside matches your inside. That's freedom. Sometimes we confuse authenticity with permanence. We think, if I'm being true to myself, I can't change. That's not authenticity. That's rigidity. Being yourself doesn't mean staying the same. It means being honest about who you are right now. And sometimes, being honest means letting go of an old identity. Maybe you were the party person, and now you want quiet. Maybe you were the tough one, and now you crave softness. Maybe you were the strong one, and now you need to cry. Growth isn't betrayal. You're allowed to evolve. You're supposed to. Studio microphone narration: imagine your life 5 years from now. And imagine you never change a thing. You keep people pleasing. You keep hiding. You keep putting on the mask. What does your life look like? Now imagine the opposite. Imagine you start being brutally honest. You start doing what lights you up. You start saying what you actually feel. You start trusting your intuition. They're not waiting for you to be perfect. They're waiting for you to be real. You've made it to the end of this video. Not everyone will. But you did. And that tells me something. Because you will never truly be happy until you learn to be yourself. And when you do, that's when the real living begins.